Hello everyone and welcome back to more Spoopy Time in the Letter. We are back for more Ashton route, or bleh, why do I keep saying route? Maybe it's because I've done a Mystic Destinies kind of recording. Anyways, Ashton point of view. We are back here. In the last episode, we last left off on, let's see, so Ashton and Isabella basically were waiting on Zach and Rebecca to show up at Isabella's place after they got in touch with him. Like, finally, after a while of just, waiting around, Zach got back to Ashton and Rebecca got back to Ashton, and they came over to Isabella's place. So everyone's safe and sound, of course. And then, this, like, Rebecca is just a little bit beaten up because, she got a library cart just, like, smashed into her. So there's that. And then, of course, everyone is kind of, like, going over the fact, like, oh, like, what happened? And it's like, oh, yeah, like, she came after you kind of thing. And, like, this is kind of bad, and we need to try to organize some of the things we've already found, like documents and shit. So that's what we essentially did. We basically spent the entirety of the day until night where we're just looking over documents, except they can't really figure anything out. They're like, how does this all connect? Like, why? Like, maybe there's more than 5 letters, maybe there's more than one letter that's going around, we don't understand how and where this curse was coming from, or who even this lady ghost is. So we were wrapping things up until we heard a strange noise, ruckus, coming over from the wardrobe in Isabella's place. So everyone's tense, and then of course Ashton was like, we're like, okay, get ready to leave kind of thing. And of course he had to go and he had to like open the wardrobe to check shit out when he could have just full on just kind of left it. I would have personally left it. If that should be making noise, like, I don't need to check it out. I'm just gonna go. So anyways, because of that, nothing was in the wardrobe physically, but then of course Ghost Lady shows up underneath the bed or underneath the wardrobe. I don't know, underneath somewhere. But she done grabbed Ashton, and that caused him to really be super flustered and super like, like, oh my god, like, holy shit, like, she's here, she's grabbing me, oh my god, this isn't part of my training. He had a little bit of a freak out moment where he couldn't like get himself to move until Isabella snapped him out, kicked her in the face, and then they all just kind of made a run for it. So they made a run for it for Ashton's car, spent the night at the park. It was the next morning, everyone went to get food, but then afterwards everyone just started arguing because they're like, now we're like, Rebecca was accusing Isabella, was like, oh my god, like, this is all your fault because you picked up the letter and you had to show it to us. And then everyone was playing the blame game, like essentially. And Zach was trying to get people to calm down, but then of course Becca, being the spitfire she is, she just goes off on Zach, and then everyone's going off on each other until Ashton stepped up and was like, shut up, everybody needs to calm the fuck down, and we gotta figure this shit out, because you never know what this ghost lady might be. Might be one of her tricks. So anyways, he gets back into the car, everyone else follows, and he eventually drives them all to the bar place. I forgot, the crawl bar. Yes, the crawl bar. And then of course G let them spend not spend the night, but like take a power nap, a much needed power nap, because they were out all night and they didn't get a wink of sleep. So everyone's in the back in the room just taking a nap. And then Ashton, after a short power nap, was talking to G, who gave him a little bit of pep talk. And then Zach came in, and he was like, them two were talking, Ashton and Zach. They were talking. Zach was trying to like reconcile with like Ashton for what happened earlier. And then I don't know. And then there's some light talks, light bantering. And then, of course, Ashton proposed the idea to Zach that, hey, there's just one more source we haven't checked out. Yeah, exactly. And it was the mansion. Except Ashton was planning to go there by himself. Zach, of course, was unhappy about that. But we came to like a mutual agreement where Zach allowed us to go as long as we come back within 4 hours. And then, yeah, that's basically it. I think Ashton went to go take a nap again, and then he's currently gonna prepare to go to the mansion to check shit out. So yeah, that's it. So let's get going. So the sun hangs lower when I stumble back into consciousness and drag myself downstairs. Okay. Around this time, the patrons usually start to trickle into the main lounge until it reaches a peak around midnight. Today, however, it remains thin. Why? Where did everybody go? So, but considering what day it isn't too worrisome for the kind of business G runs. Yes. He has always complained about the lack of decent crowd on a weak start, although he doesn't really begrudge his customers for it. No one wants to start the week with a bad case of a hangover, after all, even him. Also, yeah, I'd say today's a Sunday, so like, of course, work's on the Monday. Which makes the concerned look he gives me come off a bit too odd. Why? With the kind of danger we're in, this swiftly puts me on the edge even before sleep completely fades from my mind. Something wrong, G? Yeah, what's up? G hums, but there's an undertone of annoyance in it despite his casual and open movements. And only after he finishes wiping a tumbler and carefully settles it face down on the table does he give me an answer. The way he stares back at me honestly makes me squirm. It feels like I'm being stared down by my primary school teacher for sleeping in class again.
Nothing much. Monday's still a slow day for this place. But you might want to check on your friends, kid.
Oh, friends? Oh, yes, true. Oh, it's a Monday? It's a Monday. Oh well, okay. I clearly have no idea what day it is here.
Looks like one of them woke up on the wrong side of the bed while you were out.
Was I? Is it Zach? Who is it? What? Another question forms in my head along with a small confused frown. Why? Though before a single syllable slips past my mouth, Rebecca's irate voice rings out from some part of the main lounge. Oh no. From the sound of it, it appears woke up on the wrong side of the bed is a complete understatement. Yeah, she woke up mad.
Alone? You know we can't just go in there.
What? Oh.
But we don't have any other choice, Becca! There's really no other way. We have to go there. If you'll just...
Oh, is Isabella actually proposing the same plan to Rebecca that we did for, like, Zach? Because I think Isabella was like, I gotta go in alone. But Ashton's already beating her to the punch.
Isabella? No.
And of course, Becca is playing Zach, and when he was, like, freaking out on us, too, he was like, you can't go in there alone. That doesn't sound too comforting. Once Rebecca assumes that kind of tone in an argument with Isabella, it usually ends with one of them walking out or both giving the other the silent treatment. It lasts for about a week at most if it's really bad, which really isn't what we need right now. Exactly. We were already in an argument earlier, which was pretty bad. Oh, I missed up Enterbun. I've hoped the bad blood from this morning will simply blow over after all of us has gotten a decent rest. Yes. I should have expected things won't be the same with them as it is with Zach and I. Turns out sleep isn't just what some of us need. Even G appears to understand it. In spite of his efforts to look as unconcerned as possible, there's a tense set on his shoulders. A nervous edge lingers in his eyes as it occasionally flickers over where Rebecca and Isabella's voices are coming from. He doesn't want to deal with this, especially at the start of another busy week. Neither do I. Things have worked out well between them before Zach or I Things have worked out well between them before without Zach or I meddling. But the imploring gaze G directs at me leaves me with no other choice. It almost feels like he's guilting me into doing something about it. I hate that it's working.
You know how I run this pub, kid. No fist fights, no cat fights, only good booze, bad puns, and off-key singing.
Sounds like my kind of place.
Go fix it before it blows up in your faces. I'd hate to throw two girls out of this place over a petty argument.
Right. Well, it seems petty to you because, of course, G doesn't believe that we were getting haunted by a ghost when we told him what was up. So it's probably not as petty if Rebecca's already shouting like that, but I give him a nod nevertheless. Sorry about this, G. Yeah, he hums something under his breath for an answer and waves me off, turning away and returning to his work without another word. Even with the lack of a sizable crowd, he likes to keep busy. We're the same in that regard. Can't remain still, always has to stay moving, doing something, thinking, whatever keeps the brain at work. I leave him to it shortly after Rebecca's voice rings out once again, followed by Isabella's. But part of me wants to thank him for all the trouble he has taken for people he barely even know. Once this is over, I should probably find some way. In the meantime, I have this immediate problem to fix. Gotta get to this before it turns into a shitstorm both of them will regret. Yes. And I know both of them will, yeah. For all of Isabella's complaints about Rebecca's bossy attitude, or how annoying Rebecca sometimes finds the other's childlike demeanor, it's a friendship they both cherish in their own way. Alright guys, stop fighting. Guys, Rebecca's already on her feet when I spot them in an almost deserted area of the pub. Just because it's deserted don't mean we don't hear you. I'm willing to bet my entire life savings that people are staying away only because of the brewing storm. Rebecca can have quite the mood when she's crossed. I can't speak for Isabella, I rarely ever see her seething, but from what I've heard, it can be very unpleasant. The way she's glaring up at the redhead from her seat, regardless of how much the other woman towers over her right now, already says everything. Guys, empty plates have been left neatly piled on one corner of the table they occupy, a conversation that turned sour sometime after late lunch then. Yes. Good thing they're already done and nothing's left to be spilled. Right, can't have nobody chucking water into the other's face, okay? That's like a total classic K-drama move. Oh my god. Because in the next moment before I can approach and intervene, Rebecca slams her palm on the table. Right, no, and we can't have broken china. It sends the silverware clinking sharply against the surface. Isabella flinches momentarily, we both do, though she shows no indication of surrendering in the face of Rebecca's temper. Everything escalates from there.
You've already gotten us in enough trouble because of this letter ghost everything.
That's why Isabella feels like she needs to fix it. You're blaming me again. Yes, oh my gosh, she's so mad that her voice is gone.
And you can't expect everyone to fix your mess.
She's not asking you.
You keep on putting the blame on me, but you're the one who didn't listen. All of you.
Oh god, girl.
If you just listened in the first place, maybe this wouldn't have happened.
Well, it's not like they couldn't do anything after seeing the letter. It's like as soon as they see it, it's like, it's done. Like, boop.
You're too busy acting like you know what's best for everyone, when in fact you're the one who's being selfish.
Why? What's happening? Why is she being selfish?
I'm the one who's selfish.
What?
Yet you're still going to do what you want anyway, even if the people around you are already beside themselves with worry.
Oh, what's going on?
This is how you've always acted since we met, and I'm tired of it.
Oh my god.
Sometimes I wish you never even came here, because all you've given us is a headache.
Now, Rebecca, you don't mean that. Oh girl, you're gonna say things that you're gonna regret.
You know why I had to come here. My dad.
Yeah.
Your dad has nothing to do with this.
Oh.
It has always been you and your whiny, careless self that has always been the problem.
Hey now, let's not drag other matters and other issues other beef that we might have with each other into this argument, because, you know, we should just stick to the now. Maybe I should have stepped in earlier. Yes, this is getting way out of hand. Maybe I should have said something the moment Rebecca has slammed the flat of her hand on the table or the second I've entered the area, but I just woke up. Either way, it's too late to act. Harsh words have already been hurled between the two. Yeah. Guys, I know you're all stressed. We're all stressed, but like, we need to work together. When Ashton showed up at the pub's main lounge again, he caught Rebecca and Isabella in the middle of an argument. The latter insisted on going back to the mansion, which the former strongly opposed. However, before Ashton could step in, harsh words had already been said. Guys, words more cutting than any blade, each and every one of it digging a wound too deep in the person they've been aimed at. For a long time, Isabella sits there in silence while Rebecca stands unmoving, arms crossed and breathing heavily. And breathing heavy, yes. Despite the lack of words between them, they're both vibrating with anger, refusing to meet the other's eyes. Ever so slowly, the atmosphere in the room turns thick and smothering. As a strained air, no one in the immediate vicinity, including me, dares to break until the one at its center does so. Rebecca definitely won't. At some point in our friendship, she has grown to become a woman firm with her opinions. She's never going to back down from this, not when she knows she has a point. Isabella, on the other hand, there has always been a certain stubbornness in her, as frustrating as it is to see sometimes. It's what has gotten her through life's hardships. Perhaps even the only thing that has. When you have nothing else, people tend to cling onto what they have within themselves instead. But she also knows when to withdraw when a struggle turns useless, a kind of awareness almost second nature to her. When enough is enough, Isabella abruptly stands and marches towards the exit in fast, rigid steps away from the hurt and painful words they've let fly earlier. She bumps into me in her haste, the impact nearly knocking her off her feet. Instinct kicks in at the last moment, and I reach out for her, grabbing her arm in a steadying grip. Surprise flits across her face, an expression mirrored by Rebecca behind her. Neither of them have noticed me. Of course not. They're too caught up in their own arguing. However, that doesn't mean I won't have things to say about this. Agree with Rebecca, take Isabella's side. Are you kidding me? No! I mean, like, they're both... Rebecca, I'm just trying to see where she's coming. Like, I know... I feel like Isabella has more of a good reason to, because we already seen or we already understand from our interactions with her, or what Ashton has picked up was that, and during the office where they were snooping about, there's that like, because like she's already aware, I think, or she internalized that the fact that it like, what am I trying to say? She's internalizing the possibility that it is her fault that this entire mess has started, and that's why she's so stubborn and she's so headstrong and trying to figure this out and to try to fix it. Like, she has that awareness already in her, but it's just that she tries to hide it in terms of, like, you know, it in her way of trying to protect the people that she cares about or that is involved in this entire thing. Like, I don't know, like, I feel like she would have, like, if Isabella would have expressed that to Rebecca, saying how, like, yes, maybe I know this is my fault and that's why I'm trying to fix it, or I'm trying to go out of my way to try to fix it. But the thing is that Rebecca, from her point of view, is like, oh, Isabella is just so stubborn, she's, you know, she never tells anyone of anything, and she goes off and she does whatever she wants, and people are just worrying over her, and blah blah blah. Like, I get it, Rebecca, but, like, it's just that there's just a lack of communication from both of you. Like, I don't want to take nobody's side right now, but God, why would I do this? And I think Rebecca has, like, for her part, like, I'm gonna say she kind of, like, what's it called? She did some low blows, is what I'm saying. Like, you didn't have to bring up her dad, like, you know, or something. Or, I don't even know, like, yeah, it's just, but my bar with Isabella is so high, though. Like, I'm, like, barely there with Rebecca. Okay, but, like, either way, I feel like Isabella shouldn't be going off by herself, though, too, because that is dangerous. And we already established ourselves that this was our plan, so it's like, I got to it first. Okay, oh my god. I don't know. I kind of didn't like Rebecca, though. She was being a really mean bitch. She was being so like, damn, like, oh, I wish you hadn't ever come, because all you ever do is just give everyone else problems. I'm like, girl, that's harsh. That's harsh. I want to take Isabella's side, honestly. Sorry, Becca. Oh God, sorry, Becca. You okay? Yeah. She's got. Oh man, I think max that shit. Oh, of course I would. Of course. But really, like, for me personally, like, I really did want to take Isabella's side, because Rebecca, yeah, she's damn girl. You okay? Yeah. Rather than answer, once her shock subsides, she merely averts her gaze and hastily wipes the tears off her cheeks, like she only noticed them in that moment. Then, without another word or even meeting my eyes again, she gently brushes away my hand and runs off, leaving an awkward hush in her wake. Rebecca soon slumps on the chair Isabella has just left, gingerly reaching up to press the bridge of her nose and breathing out a ragged exhale. Arguments like this have always drained both her patience and energy, usually more than her rowdy students do, despite being no stranger to it. It's no excuse for her to say those things, though, and my disapproval must be clear enough on my face, right? When she finally glances back at me, her exhaustion immediately shifts back to annoyance, her mouth curving down to a tight frown. Now she's gonna go off on me. I cross my arm in response, waiting, a reaction verging on instinctive in the face of her irritation. Regardless of my opinions about this, I don't say anything yet, not until she's the one willing to talk. Another minute passes while we stare each other down, but eventually she breathes out again and relaxes her rigid posture.
What do you want, Ash?
What happened? What started this?
If you have something to say, just tell me, or I'm going back upstairs.
Did you really have to say it like that?
Well, how do you want me to answer her? Do you want me to just let her go there and do what she wants?
I know you won't be too happy if I did that.
Of course not, but I'm just saying all the other hateful things, like you didn't need to say that. That's a low blow, Rebecca, even for you. We all know she wasn't even planning on staying here this long. There was no need to bring it up if all you wanted to do is stop her.
Did you even see how she's acting? She's not a child anymore. Even my students can do better.
Becca, she'll listen if you'll just ask her properly. I know you mean well and you do have a point, but please be a little more thoughtful next time. I know, right? Just go think about it for a while. By some miracle, the whole discussion ends right there. Rebecca elects to stay silent, or at least it's how she... Yeah. Rebecca elects to stay silent, or at least it's how it seems when a minute or two passes and she says nothing. A rare occurrence when she almost always has something on her mind. Only an uneasy atmosphere hangs in the air when I finally decide to remove myself from the room. She doesn't stop me. Alright. Instead, something inexplicable flickers momentarily in her eyes, one that quickly disappears until only a vague notion of it remains in memory. But in that one exchange, I've caught a short, clear glimpse of what has shifted, of what's inevitable. So much has changed throughout the years, we will never be the same person we once were. And if it's for the better, we've yet to know. Yeah, well then, that was a mess. A lull has descended in the main lounge once I return. G's nowhere to be seen, people continue to trickle out instead of in, and by the time I get back, only 2 tables remain occupied. Soon these people too will be gone, and the whole place will be devoid of anyone. Frankly, its current state already lends the place an entirely different vibe. Along with the soothing strum of strings and the steady beat of drums playing overhead, there's a calming sense to this. A far cry from times I've been here before. And perhaps it's for this reason why Isabella has chosen this place to retreat. She sits quietly in the furthest corner of the room in one of the tables set right beside the windows. G usually keeps the curtains closed around this hour, but a small portion of it has been pulled back, revealing the busy streets outside. The late afternoon light spills right through it, outlining her small form and pooling on the surface of the table where both her arms rest. In her hands, she flips a piece of folded paper, turning it from one side to the other without any purpose. The letter. A small frown creases her forehead while she stares at it, yet there's something oddly tranquil in the picture she has unknowingly painted. Something I can't bring myself to disturb, if only for a few seconds. It's one of those moments again. The rare ones, the ones where she's too quiet. The ones where she's too still, too quiet, a complete opposite of her usual self, but it's these that often leave a mark. Not her cheery disposition or her lively attitude, but these short few seconds of wordless silence when the softest sighs and the slightest movements sing louder. The smallest minuscule things that tell you about the person and her strength more than any words can express. It's these that carve a vivid memory, no matter how brief it lasts. She glares at me, annoyed, and just like that, all of it melts away. Gone is the stillness, replaced quickly by the teasing and friendly jibes. Back again to what we're used to, what's easy, what's familiar, where every truth we hope to convey regrettably goes unsaid between us. You're going to destroy an important piece of evidence if you keep doing that, Belle. But she's far from angry. A bit upset, maybe? Well, who wouldn't be? While I do agree with Rebecca, her words still hit below the belt. Regardless, Isabella doesn't seem like she'll start shouting at me, at least compared to every other people I've aggravated, intentional or otherwise. Some light talk may just do the trick and coax her out of this mood. Come on, if you keep staring at the table like that, you're going to bore a hole in it. I really don't want the OG on your table. He'll pick the most expensive one and leave me begging on the streets. She levels a quick glance at me, her expression dry and impassive enough to drain every color out of the room. It's as if I've just told her a terrible joke and she's expecting there'll be more of it. Really now? She needs to give me more credit than that. My jokes are funny when I want them to be.
And I really don't care. I'd even take pictures and post them online.
I mean, if that makes it faster for 5 people to be, for this to pass on, then great.
Go away, Ash. I don't want to talk right now.
But you need to, girl. Yet it sounds half-hearted at best. Like what's happening has already sapped every bit of energy in her, and all that's left are the words. Pretty soon those too will lose their meaning and leave a hollow shell in their wake. It's already unusual to see her like this. Everything has already gone to shit. I'd like, at least, this one thing to stay normal. So somehow we manage. We continue for the better half of the hour, talking, joking, with her short, feeble responses and banter that never goes anywhere. But it's enough. In the grand scheme of things, amidst the chaos and death shadowing over us, it's these little inconsequential moments that matter. It's her smile, her laughter, when it finally rings easy and free of her burdens. Okay, I have another one.
I don't want to hear it, Ashton. Go away.
Oh, girl. No, really, listen. I know someone who talks like an owl.
Will you leave me alone if I bite and ask who?
I'll pause. Hey! And then she frowns as realization slowly dawns on her. Confusion flashes fleetingly across her face before eventually settling on a grimace. That was pretty good though. I like that.
Oh.
Ah, that's clever. That's good. That's alright. Suddenly she hugs her arms closer to herself and looks away, perhaps in her best attempt to stay angry. To no avail. Yeah. In a matter of seconds, her shoulders shake with laughter she's trying to contain.
You're awful, and I really hate you. Just leave.
It's contagious, her mirth. Soon I'm joining her in it, briefly forgetting every problem that has piled up and continues to weigh down on us. Laughing without reservation or care until only a familiar warmth lingers once both our amusement ebbs away. Somehow with her, these things have always come easy. Feeling better?
A little. You're still lame.
I know, but it's okay. But you're laughing right now.
Only because your humor is terrible.
I think my humor is great. Right, keep telling yourself that. I know it's funny. And you know what? If you kept frowning like that, your face might have cracked. That would have been really messy and ugly. Hey now, if glares can kill with the one she sends my way, I'll probably be dead by now. Seeing it directed my way, it takes only a few quick seconds for me to realize how she might have also taken my statement. I don't think you're ugly, girl. How wrong and rude it might have sounded in her ears, however unintentional it is. I've never been good with words, but that's never an acceptable excuse, is it? Yeah, suddenly taking the brunt of her anger seems less complicated than correcting or explaining myself. Nevertheless, I try. Crap, damn it. That was not what I meant. That was so not what I meant. I was just saying you look better when you're smiling. Her glare doesn't even wane. In fact, I think it intensified like the brewing storm. In the face of it, under the sharpness of her stare and her annoyance, I do what any person with a good sense of self-preservation does. Keep my mouth shut and shift my attention elsewhere. Damn, you're so smooth with the ladies, Ashton. Like, it works for like 10 seconds and then you're just going downhill. The crowd outside looks very interesting today. Maybe I should...
Thanks, Ash.
Aw. She utters all of it in a voice too small, too quiet. But when I turn to her, only those words, her gratitude, resonates throughout the whole room. Not the soft clinking of silverware somewhere, or the last strains of music fading into silence above us. Instead, it's the meaning behind her gaze as she holds mine that lingers. Steady, unflinching, and open, in the same way she looked at me all those years ago, with bright eyes and an expression softening into a tender smile. I didn't understand it then. How easy it is for her to wear her heart on her sleeve, how she never shies away from expressing herself, even among people she barely knows. How she can go through everything without losing herself. Yeah. Now it's among the hundreds, the thousands that hang unspoken between us, trivial little things with worth still too big to put into words. Either because it's too early or because there's never really a proper time. For now, though, this'll do. Until the moment itself dwindles. Until reality pulls us back in, reminding us of the things we've set aside in its favor. Isabella, about what happened with Rebecca earlier.
I should probably apologize to Becca. I know she only means well. And I said some really bad things.
Did you now? I don't think she said any bad things to Rebecca, though. The corners of her mouth quirks up, almost as if she's too ashamed of the things she said. Don't worry, she can be pretty stubborn, but she'll listen, especially to you.
You think?
Yeah. You're one of the few people she likes. She won't stay angry for long, I can vouch for it. She has a point, though. Isabella freezes. In an instant, the pleasant air around us dissipates. Why? She shifts her attention back to her hands again, both clenched so tightly that her knuckles visibly pale.
I know, Ash.
Yeah, you know, but...
I just thought we'd find something in there.
In where?
That if I go back,
In
we'll
the
get the
mansion?
answers
Yeah,
we need.
In the mansion, yeah. Okay, I was like, I blanked out for a few seconds. But anyways, I thought Ashton was the one who was set to go.
I found the letter there, so maybe, right?
I mean, you're not wrong. It's not that I don't agree with her. Hell, I've been considering the same thing. It's the only lead we have, after all. Exactly. But Rebecca also has a point I will always agree with, no matter how desperate I am. It's not going to be a simple walk in the park. Of course not. Who knows what we might find in there. If she comes with me, I won't be able to guarantee her safety. She'll be in even greater danger. Hence, alone. Exactly as I have told Zach. If there's a need to go back to that accursed place, I'm doing it on my own. Whether or not the rest of them agrees with this plan is inconsequential. Their well-being is my top priority, and I'm not just about to drag them in there with me. So I tell her as much, despite the determination and desperation in her eyes. Anything to keep her safe. I can't let you do that. It's dangerous. It's dangerous, honestly. It's dangerous. I still got that. Yeah. Forget it, Belle. You're not going back to that mansion. Yeah.
But Ash, what about...
Nope. No excuses. This isn't up for debate. Do you really think they'll just let you in? Do you really think they'll give a damn if you walk in there carrying that stupid letter of all things?
No, but there has to be something we can tell them.
Oh, girl.
Ash, they were with me during the open house. They have to know. They're in as much trouble as we are. They're living in that place.
I know, which is why I'm going by myself.
That ghost woman came from there. Both her and the letter.
Yes.
Something's in that house, Ash. And whatever it hides might be the only thing that'll get us out of this mess.
I know, I totally agree with you with that, but like, still, you're not coming with me. Alright, supposing you do find an answer then. There, what happens? Let's say that by some dumb luck you got inside and found something. What if you see her again? What if she goes after you? What are you going to do?
It's not like we have any other choice. Besides, I'm pretty sure you've already thought of the same thing. Admit it.
I have. You caught me there, girl. I ain't going to deny it. That doesn't mean I'm going to let you run straight into trouble. What you're planning to do is risky. For you, give it up, Isabella. Unexpectedly, Isabella merely clams up. No resistance, no further argument like I've come to expect from her. Uncharacteristic. Just a silence that stretches far too thin till the air in the whole room grows awkward and suffocating. A standstill that'll get us nowhere. Although if there's one thing our talk has wonderfully succeeded at, it's making me feel like a total asshole and a hypocrite. And I am considering my plans tonight, yes. Sure, I can tell her, but what good would it do? I've already told Zach one person is enough. Alright, okay. Hell, simply letting someone in on the plan makes me iffy. Broadening that circle and revealing too much would just cause another pointless concern. But someone has to be aware, at least, of where I'm heading off to in case things don't pan out. Expect the worst, even if I've only intended to do a quick survey of the place. In my own words, risky. Isabella doesn't need to be burdened with the worry my entire scheme entails. Yes. I like to think that yes, to some extent she understands, even if she does not entirely agree with me. The dilemma is clear in her. Otherwise, her scowl wouldn't have a deeper set in it. Her lips wouldn't be. Otherwise, her scowl wouldn't have a deeper set to it. Her lips wouldn't be pressed in a thin line, or her hand would no longer be balled into fists. She would have pushed that argument if she doesn't, and I know she has no lack of things to say. Maybe it's because she has already heard the same thing from Rebecca. Maybe my words have made her come to her senses. Either way, it's best that we simply leave it here for now. I stand up as soon as footsteps shuffle from the next room, its cadence slow and hesitant. Shortly, Rebecca comes into view, clutching her hands firmly in front of her and sporting the same uncertainty in her face. She casts me a cursory look, then shifts a nervous one to Isabella, who studies her with an almost hopeful gleam in her eye. Their fight never did last long.
Belle,
yeah.
Can we talk?
Their fights never did last long. Yeah, that's good. Good on them, at least.
Alone?
Yeah. Her interruption could not have come sooner, and I'm all the more glad for it. Whatever kind of friendship I share with the two, this remains something for only the two of them, much like my own with Zach. I'm the outsider. They don't need me here. It's all the reason I need. Muttering an excuse, I beat a hasty exit out of the main lounge and leave them to mend things on their own, before Isabella can say what she's been mulling over. Before the last imploring glance she directs my way forces me to change my mind. It's another lasting image that firmly etches itself in my memory, one that spurs a conscience one that spurs a conscience among other things. Okay. So yay, alright, make up you two. That's great. At least they're alright. They can work it out themselves. After scolding Rebecca for her harsh tone, a concerned Ashton followed after Isabella. He found her alone in a corner of a lounge, upset. Despite agreeing with her, he insisted she would only put herself at risk by coming back. Although she acquiesced, dismay was clear in her face. It's for your own good. I just hope I won't regret what I've chosen for myself tonight. Here we go! Galway Shaw's Monday night crowd, although small and barely occupies a quarter of the whole pub, provides ample enough cover for anyone who wishes to leave the place unnoticed. Just exactly what I need tonight, with the lively music and chatter slipping out, mostly unseen, becomes a piece of cake. Without much trouble, just soon enough, I find myself standing outside under the chilly Luxbourne night. A gust of wind picks up shortly after I step out, carrying the telltale smell of an impending rain. I'll give it about an hour or two before it starts. From the looks of it, tonight will be another downpour, maybe even stronger than the one we've had this morning. On instinct, I hunch further into my jacket, hugging its thick material closer to my body while I weave my way through the lines of empty cars in the parking lot. Yeah, the leather crinkles in my pocket with each step I take, though I pay it no mind as I hurry towards my car. I've nicked it minutes ago from Isabella's belongings on my way out. If this is all connected, I need this damn piece of paper with me. Of course it is. However ridiculous it sounds, I'm quite sure it won't be missed either. I'm quite sure it won't be missed either, but I can't waste time here and wait for her to find out, can I? No. 4 hours is all I'm giving myself to get this done. Yes. 3 if I'm inclined to go by the rules Z-Man set, but when have I ever? Regardless of how generous that is, each second's just as important as the next. So I hurry, one footstep over the other, echoing as I make a beeline for my car. But as with every plan, problems crop up at the last second. It's practically a universal rule. What? And it does. In the form of a lone figure waiting for me next to my car. Who the hell? Oh, Rebecca, are you kidding me? Rebecca turns just as I near the corners of her mouth, twitching up in a wry smile. She offers no greeting except for a slight tilt of her head. Even as my pace slows and I look at her with all the unvoiced questions in my eyes, she remains wordless. Did she catch on? Merely throwing her head back and shifting her attention up at the starless sky when I come up to stand beside her. Another gust of wind blows as she breathes out a sigh, very thick with something close to resignation. The breeze carries all of it away while she hugs her arms closer to herself to keep warm, which raises the question why she's out here. The air is already heavy with the promise of rain, with clouds obscuring the view. There's really nothing left to look at but a dark blanket of nothingness. Still, she stands here as if she's intentionally waiting for everything to fall. That, or she's out here for some other reason. But before I can voice a single word, express a disapproval of any kind, she raises a halting hand at me, sharply cutting off the rest of my opinion.
I'm not here to stop you.
The rest of my
Wherever
question.
it is you're planning to go off tonight.
Oh, that's great then. The rest of my question, not opinion. Jesus.
I won't be able to anyway. You look like you've already made up your mind.
I have. Go back inside. It's going to rain soon. It'll probably be even heavier than the downpour we had this morning. You wouldn't want to be caught in it.
I will, in a moment.
Okay. Well, so what's up?
I just want to stay out here a bit for some air, away from the noise inside.
All right.
Everything's been so chaotic these days. This little break is nice. Even if it means standing in the middle of a parking lot, of all places.
Right. You just take what you can get.
Getting out of this mess would definitely be better, but hey, you take what you can get, right?
Yes, exactly my words. It'll be over soon. The confidence in my own words surprises even me. How do I know? Why am I so sure? When in truth, what I'm about to do is a last ditch effort. If this fails, if I don't find anything, we're back to square one. It's the last lead I have. After this, we have nothing else to go off from. Regardless, it seems to amuse her, and her laughter soon sounds above the murmur of the distant traffic and the light draft sweeping around us.
How I wish. I'll be content as long as she stops showing up in my mind whenever I close my eyes.
I'm sorry, I don't think I can do anything about that. I mean, you're forever traumatized after all of this is over. I think that may take some time. The brain doesn't easily forget trauma, right?
I can try.
Yeah, you can try. You gon' keep trying, girl. I believe.
But, you know, it also did a lot to us.
I know. Tell me about it. The back of my head's still smarting from my fall last night.
Not that kind. I'm talking about us. As people.
Uh-huh.
I hate to admit it, but this whole deal with the ghost, with the curse, it also brought out an ugly side to us. To all of us.
Yeah, no shit.
And it made me realize plenty of things.
That you're really, like, you can be a complete bitch if you want to be, yes. But, you know, I don't blame you.
About myself.
Uh-huh.
About us.
Ah. Rebecca trails off. Suddenly a pensive expression spreads across her face. I've seen it countless of times before. And every time I see it on her, it's usually followed by a memory, a silly story, or even something embarrassing I've said from childhood. Unlike me, who will much rather forget, she remembers each of them so easily. And after a short bout of silence, when she smiles, I know this is one of those times again.
Do you remember that one time, back in secondary?
Which one? We did a lot of dumb things back then. Well, I did, but you get the point.
Mandy.
Mandy. I thought you still don't like her? Don't tell me you've kept in contact with her. Are you guys friends now or something?
Oh, no. We do see each other sometimes. On the way to work or when I go out for lunch, but it's nothing like that.
Yeah, of course not.
We're not friends. Not in this lifetime. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think we'll ever get along, but
Okay.
if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't even be friends, yeah?
I guess. Why, did Mandy used to bully you or something?
You stood up for me that day.
Yeah.
And from then on, things have changed.
Yeah. She makes it sound like I'm some sort of hero. Mandy was in the wrong. Of course, I'll defend her. If no one's going to stand up for her, who else will? Chances are it would have escalated, and who knows, maybe she would have stopped going to school or transferred. Any decent human being with an ounce of sense Any decent human being with an ounce of sense should know better. I acted because I know what I'm doing is what's right. Well, not everyone has your sense, Ashton. I only wish they do. It's as simple as that. You'll be surprised. Yet she smiles as if it's worth more than that, a fondness that goes beyond nostalgia.
I guess what I'm trying to get at is, this time, I don't want this to go unsaid.
Are you confessing to me? Like right now?
You know, just in case something happens.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I totally get it. Go for it.
Ash,
I'm in love with you.
I've always been in love with you.
Yay! Wow, she got it out. There it is. She says it so plainly, holding my gaze in a voice too frank that her admission stuns me into silence, right? Like the wind has suddenly been knocked out of me in one fell swoop, yes. No words will form, not even a single coherent thought, as the meaning of her words bear down on me. Nevertheless, she continues, desperate to express everything she has kept to herself all these years. Yes, this is what the fondness is. Why, for her, it weighs heavier than any feelings of nostalgia I can carry.
Since that time in secondary?
Ever since then? Yeah, wow, shit.
Since I made that promise to never leave.
Oh, girl.
I've always truly loved you.
I mean, I can give you a platonic hug. Afterwards, there's relief, a weight suddenly being lifted from her shoulders after so long. She closes her eyes and lets out a breath. I mean, she has been pining after you for 2 years, so yeah, you know. I mean, actually, no more than that. Jesus. When she looks back to me, though, there's nothing but hope in them. Eyes that are searching for an answer. Uh-oh. Facing the sincerity behind her words, I find myself grasping, scrambling for the words. Because as much as it because as much as this pains me to admit, I can't give her the same affection she's asking from me. We might have spent so many years alongside each other. Hell, we practically grew up together. But that never automatically means I'll ever hold for her feelings that goes beyond the boundaries of friendship. I do appreciate her presence in my life. I'm more than glad that she has stuck with me even through the toughest moments, even when she finds me difficult or aggravating. However, it's really all there is to it. She's a close, important friend to me, but nothing more. Ah, no, friend zoned. Rebecca, I am, well, of course, because Ashton clearly made it clear himself, even before, I guess, our influence in choices, I guess, that he has a crush on Isabella. I draw in a breath, ragged, unsure. Uncertain how and which words to put together so it will hurt her less, so the wounds they might leave won't be as deep or scar. Yeah. In the end, I can only utter an apology, right? I'm really sorry, Rebecca. I'm really sorry, Becca. Stark refusal. Oh. I'm happy you feel that way, but I can't. I can't. There's already someone that I'm in love with. And I think she already knows. She's like, I know. Someone else. It takes all of my willpower to force myself to even look at her. For sure they will be hurt, maybe she'll even be angry, but I don't hold it against her. And sure enough, when our eyes meet again, her mouth has already settled in a tight line and she assumes a rigid pose. But there's a sharpness in her gaze, but behind it is pain, undeniable, searing, something that she tries to hide by hastily looking away and stepping back. Becca, I know this.
It's all right, Ashton. You don't have to explain anything.
Oh. Yeah, but I should.
I told you, no need. It's not like I didn't have an idea or anything.
Oh, yeah.
When you think about it, it's really quite obvious. The way you've always looked at her said everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's just end this conversation here, all right? I don't think it would do us both any good.
No, because it's getting really hella awkward.
This is going to get really awkward if we keep at it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it already is.
When all has been said and done, at least I told you, right?
True, because you've been waiting for how long, girl? So it's a good accomplishment on you.
Maybe I can finally let this whole thing go. Who knows?
Right.
Thanks for hearing me out, though. I won't keep you long. I know you have things to do.
Yes, I do.
Just promise me you won't do anything dumb, all right?
I'll try. She doesn't wait for an answer. Instead, she flashes me one last strained smile before walking away, while the only thing I can do is watch her retreating back. Damn. Well, I mean, like I said, I was like, you never know when things might go down, shit might hit the fan, and you'll regret not saying anything. And now we just gotta wait for Ashton to say something to Isabella. Ashton left for the mansion at nightfall, but when he got to his car, he found Rebecca waiting for him. Fearing she might not have the chance, Rebecca confessed her feelings. However, Ashton couldn't reciprocate. Visibly hurt, Rebecca left it at that. She only wanted him to know. Maybe if I had my bar up a little bit higher, maybe she would have given me like a more, I guess, friendlier response back. Be like, oh no, it's fine. Like I know kind of thing. Whatever. In that one moment, one conversation, something also breaks between us. Something irreparable. Yes, a different kind of regret. Haunting me amidst the silence of my car as I drive off and leave it all behind. Within 10 minutes, I'm driving out of Luxbourne and heading straight for Ansem Village. In the distance, flashes of lightning light up the horizon, white and sharp against the black curtain of the night. Thunder threatens with a rumble seconds later, echoing long across the sky. And with one last roar, the skies open in earnest. Damn, it's raining? God damn, it's raining. Why are we here at night and raining? God. The rainfall is fast, steady sheets, creating shallow puddles on the dirt path, drenching everything the eyes can reach. Despite having grown up in the city, I still despise the rain. Living here doesn't mean I have to like it. Lucky me, I've reached the mansion before the downpour has turned torrential. Oh god. You know we're gonna get stuck here. Oh god. The long slog from Ansem Village by foot has already been made difficult by the light drizzle and biting winds buffeting against my body every few seconds. By the time I found cover under the trees lining the vicinity of the mansion, my shoulders are already drenched. My hair is also sticking against my skin and out in every possible direction. Thankfully, the letter, taser, and gun I brought with me has remained relatively dry. That's the most important thing. Okay, at least he's got a gun and a taser this time. God. However, those are the least of my problems at the moment. Sometimes after the housewarming party, scumbag, Wright, has suddenly grown a brain and tightened the security around the mansion. Yeah, of course, because she doesn't want Rochelle sneaking around. But that's the least of his worries. A guard is now stationed in every possible point of entry, the main entryway, the back door leading to the kitchens. Hell, it's almost a miracle no one has spotted me once I enter the property, although that's probably because I've kept close to the forest. And it's raining. While I can always create a clever way in for myself under this deluge, it'll be difficult to do so without making much noise or leaving tracks. I don't really have the luxury either, do I? Well, that just means you gotta go through the dungeon basement, where I'm pretty sure Marianne is still there. Unless she's, like, dead. God. Considering how off this place feels since I've stepped in the property and the mansion came into view. Every light is off, even with the security personnel on patrol outside. The whole house itself, it feels empty, eerie, too quiet. Normally I'll pass it off as some kind of power outage because of the storm. It's not a far off conclusion when this place is almost in the middle of nowhere. It might as well be. However, something just feels wrong. Something happened here. Yes, it did, or about to. It's the sole reason why I haven't done anything yet. Simply observing, watching, listening for anything. I might be pressed for time, but I'm not a careless idiot. Although I need a way in, desperately so, moving without thinking will not only endanger me. With so many unknown variables and what we're dealing with, I also have to act on the assumption that someone is always in danger, especially in this place. I can't act impetuously. As much as I hate Wright, I'm not about to cause his death because of one thoughtless action. If there's a place he deserves to be at, it's in prison, not a morgue. So when a hoarse, painful sob suddenly rings out above the loud pitter-patter of the rain, only then do I stir. God, what the hell, a woman? Perhaps a servant? Or worse, Hannah Wright. No, Hannah don't cry like that. It's coming from the forest? What the fuck? What the fuck? Just right up ahead, in fact, not too far from the house. Regardless, I give the place a quick, wary glance before following the noise. Oh, God. Carefully keeping to the shadows, one cautious step after another. Louder and louder it goes as I near. Oh, shit! That fucking scared the shit out of me. Until it abruptly turns into a loud, desperate, anguished cry. I break into a run. One nervous hand ready on the gun holstered at my hip, and the other raised for the balance as I scurry across the dense understory. Dead leaves crunch under my shoes, but I pay it no mind. There's only the voice, the woman, and nothing, of course. Abruptly, it all stops, and I am met with a sudden hush. Blank. Empty. Almost deafening in its stillness, even with my labored breathing and pounding heartbeats against my ears. Behind me, another branch breaks, and... What the fuck? Oh, dread surges within me while I spin around and take a hard step back, ignoring the chilly pinpricks crawling at the back of my neck. There. But before I can even meet her eyes, the world unexpectedly pitches sideways. What the fuck? Tilting. And tilting till the ground beneath me finally crumbles. Am I hallucinating? What is this? My hand fights for purchase, only to meet air. By then, it's too late. Ow! My foot slips further and the rest of my body follows. Did I break a leg? I hope I didn't. Dark spots blur the edges of my vision. Black tendrils twist and coil around my limbs. Soft footfalls echo from the far distance, scurrying, scampering, moving in an odd rhythm with the sharp, piercing notes of her laughter. But more than that are the voices, lacing venom inside every crevice in my head. Murmurs that jeer, scoff, and deride. Over. It's over. It's because you didn't listen. And over. It's all your fault. Yes. And over again. I guess that's one of her abilities. I mean, she did it to Marianne. Why won't you believe me? A reminder of what I failed to do and who I've failed. And of who I failed. What I'm trying to desperately fix. A scream threatens to burst, but my throat closes off. Ever so slowly, a chill seeps into every nerve in my body, washing away every sensation in me apart from one. Fear! There's only fear. Oh God. Once again, her laughter echoes, a sound both bitter and unforgiving. It is the last thing I hear before she reaches for me. The ground trembles. Why am I tripping? Jesus, I literally tripped. So why am I tripping balls now? The world slows to a stop. What the fuck? Oh. Well then. Marianne? Are you here? Marianne, darling, where are you? Are you still alive? Okay, so the new journal entry says, the storm has started in earnest when Ashton arrived at the mansion. While trying to find a way in, the detective noticed the eerie silence that had enveloped the place. Something was wrong inside, but before he could figure it out, the sobs of a woman suddenly echoed. Half darkness greets me when my eyes finally snap open, the soft patter of dripping water somewhere spurring my consciousness further. For a few short moments, I remain still, blinking away the dizziness, allowing my vision to adjust to the lack of light and my breathing to even out first. Before pushing myself up on one arm and attempting to stand. I had a feeling we would end up here somehow. Like, it's either I was expecting Ashton to find a way in, or I guess we get kidnapped and we're put here anyways. Either way, regardless, I was like, we're gonna be here. Turning alone is a struggle on its own. An inch of movement sends a stab of sharp pain right up my arms and my back, giving me another pause. Ugh, shit, I hope I didn't break anything. Fuck, right? Like, I hope so too. There doesn't seem to be any injury or a major fracture, although the whole of my back does feel sore and raw. Probably from when I've skidded down prior to landing myself here. Really? A comforting thought. The second attempt comes easier later, though no less painful. By the time I'm back on my feet, the exertion has left me gasping in short, shallow breaths and leaning heavily on the wall nearest to me. Behind me, a light draft blows in from where I've fallen in. Oh, so I guess oh, whoa, okay, so he got here by himself. It's just that the entryway to this place is like a fucking pit somewhere. I don't even know. Coming in short, sharp bursts into what's apparently an underground tunnel and brings in the fresh, earthy smell of rain from the top side. Like a ditch? Like he just kind of rolled down a ditch and just ended up in here somehow? Regardless, it fails to mask the old, musty scent of the place, a mixture of mold, mildew, dust, grease, and something distinctly foul. A dead body. A rotting body. Yes, like death. More worrisome than the putrid festering smell, however, are the cells that line both sides of the tunnel. Yes, under the dim light, I can barely make out what's inside on some of them, but I already have a few ideas, all of which I refuse to delve into at the moment. But one of them must be Marianne. Marianne? Knowing how long this mansion has stood. Somehow, no matter how unexpected finding the existence of this place is, it isn't too surprising. Right, I wonder if Scumbag knows about this. Nah, apparently not. Probably not. Unless he's also the kind of person who takes joy in inflicting this kind of suffering on others. I don't really think so. He's rotten to the core, but not that rotten. He'll probably balk at this, move out at the first opportunity, and have it demolished. The very idea of what has occurred in this place years ago makes me reel as well. I've known long ago places like this tend to hold secrets, of course. Very dark secrets. This though, if this is just the tip of the iceberg, I fear what I may discover in the mansion itself and the tale behind that fucking letter. But fear is inconsequential. As unpleasant as the sight of this is, this place might also be the only way for me to get inside unnoticed. Yes. Sighing and taking one last gulp of clean air, I push away from the wall and delve deeper into the passage. Let's just hope it'll be smooth sailing from here on. No, girl. You are in the heart of the beast. Turns out that alone is too much to ask for this early, right? Now, no 20 paces into it, another sound abruptly rises above my footfalls. Is that you, Marianne? I hope that's you. Rebounding off the hollow walls and echoing inaudibly across the whole span of the tunnel before fading away just as swiftly as it rang. I paused, nevertheless, straining my ears for more of it, while I gradually moved my hand to my side, slow and steady until the tips of my fingers brush off the gun's handle. Although cold against my skin, it's the closest thing I have to comfort at the moment. For a long minute I wait, holding my breath, watching every form, edge, and shadow at the corners of my vision for any movement. After a heartbeat and nothing, I allow the tension to ease out of me in the form of a long, slow exhale that reverberates around the whole passage.
Who's there?
Marianne! Girl, you alive! Perhaps it's because of what has happened earlier and how I've ended up here, or maybe it's because of my training. But in spite of the panic and fear in that voice, I don't immediately answer. Of course not. Instead, I pull my gun free from its holster and wordlessly draw closer to where the voice rings out once again. Afraid. Frantic. Weak?
I'm asking you a question. Who's there?
Oh, Marianne, I'm so glad you're okay. It's only after I've released the safety do I answer while continuing my approach in a careful, steady pace. I think I should be the one asking you that. Who are you? Show yourself. Well, like, she can't because she's stuck in a cell.
I can't. I'm stuck in here.
Maybe stick your hand out and kind of wave at me. Like, tell me what you are. Well, a ghost will definitely not be saying that, or have a conversation like this, or be stuck anywhere, right? And as if to prove her point, she extends a hand from one of the cells ahead and waves. Yeah, there you go. And then she pulls back, grips the iron bars, and rattles it lightly.
I can't get out. Can you help?
I'll try. Oh, Marianne. In 5 quick steps, I'm standing in front of the cell, and sure enough, a woman's inside. Slumped on the floor, holding the bars with shaking hands, clinging to it as if it's the only thing keeping her upright. And not just any woman, it's Marianne McCauley! You, yes, and on the first cell door, behind cell door number 1, it's Marianne McCauley. McLaughlin? Nope. The same one I met at G's 5 days ago, smashed, drunk, and babbling her frustrations about her employers.
Holmes?
Yes, Holmes. 'Tis I, Holmes. No, not McLaughlin. McCauley, yes. Marianne McCauley, famous interior designer extraordinaire. Yes! Not so extraordinary now, with how exhausted and feeble she looks, trapped in a jail cell of all things. I know, I mean, how many... She was stuck here from the day of the housewarming party. Who knows how long it's been now? It's been since. Wait, it's on the Friday. Let me just check. I think it was on the Friday? No. The Sunday. No, the Friday. So she was stuck like for 4 days now because like right as of now it's Tuesday, November 1st. Damn, girl, how are you still alive? Her breathing's shallow and there's a paleness to her complexion, sunken eyes, cracked lips, dry skin, all signs pointing to starvation and dehydration. Yes. How long have you been stuck in here? 4 days.
3 days?
Yes.
4? I don't know. I have no idea anymore.
Oh, girl. Oh, honey. I feel you. I don't blame you. I ain't blaming you. Oh, girl. I'm just happy you're still alive.
I just fell in, and that woman...
Yes, that woman. But, like, why is she keeping her alive, though? I'm surprised.
Whatever. Can you get me out of here? Please.
Yes. I mean, in a moment. But here, go feed yourself first before you fall over. Yeah, here's an energy bar. Yeah. I fish out an energy bar from my pocket and hand it to her. She's lucky I always have one on my person. For sudden emergencies or extended stakeouts, a little sugar to keep me going. Like any starving person, she wastes no time making a grab for it, unwrapping it straight away and taking in whole mouthfuls of it. Yes, relief washes over her face on the first bite alone, although she's going to need more than that if what she has said is true. Yes, but for the moment, it's enough to keep her alive. Good thing she seems to have the sense to prioritize survival over comfort. If the puddle on the corner of the cell indicates anything, right. Without water, the human body can only survive 3 days. No food, Without water, the human body can only survive 3 days. No food, and I'll give it an average of 3 weeks, though even then, it won't be a pretty experience. No, of course not. Granted, some have survived longer than that. She's still fortunate I found her when I did. Now, to get her out. But how? My bobby pins won't work. My bobby pins won't be of any use here, not like I need it. Unlike the ones we have at the precinct, a simple barrel hinge holds the gate to the cell together. Yes. Even without any special tools, I'll be able to lift the door to free her. Really? That easy? Damn. However, with how heavy it seems, I'll need a lever of some sort to help.
What are you looking for?
A lever of some sort. Do you have anything in there? Some wood? A 2x4, I guess? A plank or a pipe? Yeah. Anything I can use as a lever. Wait here. The hallway yields nothing but dust, dirt, and a few rusted chains scattered about. While I may find something in one of the open cells, I'm reluctant to check or even step in. Exactly, you never know. This girl might just come up behind me and just lock me in there myself. Alright, so we can't have another person trapped in here. However, Macaulay ended up inside. Yeah.
Well, there's no...
Girl, you a lifesaver. My head snaps back to her. Yes, though, oh my gosh. I know exactly what this is, but like, okay, it'll do. Macaulay extricates a wooden board from under the mess of hay and twine near her. Yes. Without prompting, she slips it through what little space there is between the bars. It's short, but appears thick and sturdy enough for my intended purpose upon closer inspection. Right. Good enough. Alright, I hope. Yeah, I hope. I get to work at once, anchoring the other end of the plank at the base of the door and applying ample force on the other. Right, okay. It's like, I mean, I hope it's not too rotten. I mean, given how long it might be in there. It might have been in there. So it takes a bit of effort. No kidding about the heavy part. Still, a grunt, a gasp, a creak. Yes! In a matter of minutes, with a little help from her on the other side, the door eventually lifts off its hinges. Girl, it falls on the ground with a loud, ugly metallic thud, but the sound of it puts elation on Macaulay's face. Don't celebrate yet, girl. We gotta get out of here first. She doesn't even ask for help. As soon as she can, she hastily crawls out of the prison she has accidentally found herself in. More than happy to get out, despite lacking the strength to stand firmly on her feet.
Thank you. Thank you so
Prison
much.
break. Nice. Prison break.
After the second day, I was so sure I was going to die in there.
No kidding.
If you didn't show up...
No. We all... Let's not think about the what ifs. We here.
Today. I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah, let's not. How did you even end up here? For a second she appears hesitant, looking away and fumbling awkwardly with her fingers. Don't worry, just tell me all about the ghost. I've seen her.
I was looking for something. Someone.
Uh-huh. A contemplative expression flickers in her eyes, something that's close to wistful, like when a person remembers a memory she's fond of. It doesn't last too long, but it still leaves me the impression that I've suddenly walked into something private. Yes. Something deeply personal for her. I'd rather not ask. Yes. So, this whole tunnel, at the end of it, it leads right inside the mansion?
The wine cellar.
Oh, right. That's where she fell from. Yeah. Right into the kitchen, then.
There's a door of some sorts. I don't know. I think I pulled or pressed something somewhere. I was in a hurry.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if it'll open from this side. Hell, this place wasn't even in the floor plans.
No, of course not. What do you mean?
Does that really matter now? We have to get out of here. People died in this place. Kids. Oh, God. Kids.
Right.
I could have shown you, but that thing won't turn back on anymore.
Oh, that sucks.
It's like it only waited for me to see it before shutting down or something. How long has that thing even been in there?
I don't know, girl. You're being a little hysterical right now. I think we need to just leave.
But those poor kids. All because of that thing.
Well, they had it coming because they're like, "Ooh, look at me! We're in the haunted mansion." La la la. Wait, hold on. What are you talking about right now? Yeah, what are you talking about right now?
The bloody letter!
Yes!
Ever since I've read that thing, since that day at the open house, she won't leave me.
Yeah, girl.
But it should be fine now, right? I broke it. I broke all of it. She shouldn't be able to do anything now.
Oh, girl, if only it was that simple. Macaulay, one at a time.
It's all that fucking paper's fault! Oh, God. Oh, God.
Girl, you're gonna just pass out yourself. Like, you have no food, no water. You're a little hungry and thirsty. So don't get your blood pressure, don't get your sugar too low, and just pass out on me.
Dear Lord in St. Adelaide, bless those poor souls.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
We're not safe here. We need to leave. If we stay here any longer.
Yes. Macaulay! Yes, shut the fuck up. Abruptly she stops, looks back at me with wild, panic-stricken eyes. I've seen enough of it so many times these past few days, from my own friends even, yes. To know she has seen things, the kind that'll easily make any person go mad. And perhaps we slowly are, yes. Like, I don't blame you for being a little, hysterical right now, but, girl, you need to just breathe, okay? I can't have you passing out on me. The longer this takes, the faster our descent into it becomes. I can't even tell which one's worse, death or this. Seems like no matter what we end up with, there will be something horrible waiting for us. I need to hurry. Listen, I need to get inside this place, and you're more familiar of its layout. If you can help me.
What?
She's like, no.
No!
Yeah, she's like, no, I ain't gonna go back into this mansion. I just want to leave. Like, she's been stuck here for like 4 days.
Why would I go back? Are you sure you haven't gotten raving mad yet?
Well, no.
An exit's right here.
I know, right? And this business with the letter has to end at some point. Look, I know you're not very fond of Luke, right?
Damn right I'm not.
Yeah, I don't think anybody is, but still, come on, girl, work with me here.
He can just go.
Yeah, he can just go to hell. I get it. He can go fuck himself. Okay, I get it. Okay, girl, we need to focus. But are you really sure you want to leave him like this? And what about his wife? Right. It strikes a chord. She falters, grows quiet as the tension lifts from her and her shoulders slump. I mean, if you're not gonna do it for him, do it for her. I do understand her issues with this. In fact, she doesn't have to go with me, only tell me enough info so I can figure it out on my own. She can always leave afterwards, be done with this whole damn mansion and letter. The other end of this tunnel leads right into the forest. It'll provide ample cover for her to be able to slip out of the property unnoticed. All the same, she steels herself and squares her shoulders.
Just until the kitchens.
Okay, fine. That's good enough. Yeah, that's more than enough. She nods, albeit weakly. Then, without another word, she gestures for me to follow, leading me further into the passage. Okay, let's just hope she don't show up. Let's just hope Ghost Lady don't show up and be like, what are you doing in my house? So after his fall, Ashton found himself in an underground passage when he came to. There he encountered Mary McCauley, who got trapped in one of the jail cells for several days. The detective managed to free her, and in turn, she helped him find a way into the mansion. Right. Okay, I'm gonna see where I am for time, and see if I can go on a little bit further or not. Let's go on a little bit further. Things are getting juicy. Things are getting hella juicy, so we're going. Alright, so occasionally she'll stop, find purchase on the wall to catch her breath, but throughout the short walk she asks for neither a break nor assistance. I suppose that's something we have in common. Eventually we get to a dead end. Although before I can question her on it, she begins palming for something on the wall. Yes, tracing her fingers along weathered edges of the bricks with a frown on her face.
It should be somewhere here, I think.
Yes. What the hell are you doing? Secret passageway, Ashton! Come on, get with the program! She merely holds up a hand, begging for my silence, and continues searching. Then, without warning, a few minutes later, something clicks. A portion of the wall shifts ajar to reveal a glimpse of another room. Bottles lining the walls, liquor barrels for aging. The wine cellar, indeed.
The ladder to the kitchen is on the far end of this room.
Yes. Surreal. This is all nothing but a surreal nightmare, but after everything, should this even surprise me? Ghosts, curses, hidden passages, right? I can't even bring myself to question the existence of this door anymore. I simply follow her to the undercroft without a single question, in spite of a number of them already swimming inside my head. As a kid, I used to crave for this kind of adventure. The stuff of mystery and detective novels, daring chases, interesting cases to solve, suspects to put behind bars, justice to serve. I was blinded, I admit. Now I simply want this to be over. Yes. Alright. We leave the door open in case there's a need for a quick exit, especially after she mentions it's only by chance she has been able to open the door last time. We can't waste time finding the switch again on the occasion something goes horribly wrong. Right. There's bound to be. With me feeling this high-strung intense, I'm not even sure why I thought it'd be a good idea to enlist Macaulay's help. Although she has been quite helpful so far, I can't shake the horrible feeling something's going to happen to her if she stays with me, right? Even if I'm her safest bet if she wants to get out of this place alive.
You really believe that, don't you?
Fuck me. Go away. Did you say something? Macaulay pauses mid-step, turning to me confused.
I didn't.
No, yes. You sure? I just heard...
Don't you think I'll be the first person who'll know?
Right?
Look, the ladder leading to the kitchen's up ahead. You might want to hurry.
Right.
I just want to be done with this place.
I feel you, girl.
See? You dragged another one.
Oh my. This time I'm sure. There's really a voice. Well, voices. Despite the look of protest Macaulay shoots me, I find myself stopping and looking for it, searching the immediate surrounding for the familiar form of the woman. I don't have to venture too far from where I'm standing. Just an arm's length away from me, mirror shards litter the floor. And right on the biggest fragments, they speak. Yes, all singing the same mocking tune against my ears, letting it echo throughout the small undercroft. Murmurs and laughters, jeering, scoffing, deriding, lacing venom into every crevice in my head, taunting me.
You dragged another person into this, Ashton.
Yes.
Into another one of your silly little problems.
All because you can't fix them on your own.
Yes, I get it. Blah, blah.
You really haven't changed, have you? Some hero you are.
Useless.
Uh-huh.
Pathetic.
Okay. So wow, this is one of her many abilities to like manipulate and like, mess with people. Damn. You're wrong. My mistake lies in this first instance I've answered, right? The very second denial has slipped from my mouth, their words have also seeped into my heart, allowing it to prod at and rouse my temper. Despite knowing they are merely doing this to goad me, each word, each syllable trickled into me, spurring the guilt I hope I've long buried.
Are we? Or is that simply what you've been telling yourself all this time? Something to make yourself feel better, perhaps?
Uh-huh.
You're the one who took that letter off Isabella's hand that day. You're the one who opened it.
You know what? You're right.
How does it feel, I wonder, to know you're responsible for all of this?
Well, I'm trying to fix it now. What do you think I'm doing? Why do you think I'm still trying to fix this?
Oh, but you can't. It's already too late. And you know that. You know all of this is futile.
Macaulay, where the hell are you?
Just face it, Ashton Frey. You're a failure, and they are the ones who have to pay for it.
Oh, girl, don't talk to me about that.
A badge and a gun, and you still can't protect your own friends.
Girl, you don't know me. You don't know my story.
Can't even solve a case for an old man.
Oh man, now you're gonna be like that? You're gonna go there?
Can't even bring Luke right to justice.
Can't even keep his own family together.
Wow.
No wonder they left you. Before you do the same thing to them.
Huh.
Mom and Dad are better off without little old you, aren't they? It's a good thing they had the sense.
Okay.
Pitiful, isn't it? Some detective you are. Some friend you are. Some son you are.
Man, this is all savage. Jesus. Well, what's a ghost? This is the ghost lady. She's a hateful bitch, so,
You might as well just throw that rank away. You're no use to people either way.
Okay. Shut it. Yeah. I hate this. I hate how this monster can easily get through to me. Every weakness, every insecurity it knows. To hear it said in my friend's voice, even more so. But what I hate above all of it is...
You know it's true, though.
All of it. It's why all you can do is tell us to shut up. You don't want to hear a single word, because you're already aware of it.
Uh-huh.
You can't even admit it to yourself. Who's the coward now?
Okay.
But no matter how hard you try, you're not gonna be able to save anyone.
Okay, shut it. Not a single word anymore. Girl, where's Macaulay?
In the end, your own incompetence will eventually lead to the deaths of everyone you care about.
Girl, I'm tripping balls here, Macaulay. Why aren't you helping me? So it laughs, sharp and piercing. As it sounds, something in me snaps. A rage hastily unfurling, red filling my vision. And the next thing I know, I'm raising my hand and... Something grabs at my wrist, followed by a buzz as another voice breaks through the haze. Right.
Don't listen to it!
Right? Don't listen to it. The fog from my mind lifts. Every sound, every noise returns to me, flooding my every senses. All at once, there's this deafening silence. Slowly, I become aware of my surroundings. Bottles of wine, barrels of liquor, and faint old scent of death and decay somewhere. And and a hand holding onto my wrist, as if to keep me from hurting myself. You were about to punch glass shards, and I don't think that would have been a good idea. In my hands, a shard. Blood drips from where it has cut my palm, trailing down my wrist until it disappears behind my sleeve. Oh, too late. Not too deep, negligible even. There's pain, however, a different kind, an ache somewhere else that stems not from the wound, but where every single word has hit. When I glance up at Macaulay, she merely stares at me with wide, horrified eyes.
Don't listen to it! No matter what happens, don't do what it says!
Yes, she already knows.
It's how it gets us.
Yes. My grip on the shard falters, but only after I nod and drop it entirely does she release her grip. Afterwards, she simply steps back and looks away, hugging her arms closer to herself. She breathes a sigh, heavy. Perhaps weighted with her own guilt, what this monster might have used against her. Yes.
Come on, we're getting close.
Yes. Let's get back to business. She walks off without another comment, but there's worry in her as she gives the fragments one last glimpse. On the ground, they lie lifeless now. No more voices, no more insults. But even as I walk away, one whispered taunt continues to ring in my ears. Why, it's all true, and you know it, kind of thing. Okay, anyways, yes. So, before he could go deeper into the wine cellar, Ashton began to hear voices coming from the mirror, voices coming from the mirror, the shards oh my god, why am I tripping over my words right now? So god, Ashton began to hear voices from the mirror shards on the floor. There we go, that's just a sentence, god. Mocking him for his failures. Though before he could do anything rash, Marianne stopped him. Belatedly, he realized he had picked up a broken mirror shard. Alright.
It's useless, Ashton Frey.
Okay, yes.
You are going to die.
Now, you don't know that. Not with that attitude.
And you are going to die alone.
Oh, okay. A fear. One that has been long kept in the darkest place in my heart. One that a small part of me wishes for. Oh, really? Oh, damn. The trapdoor swings open without much fuss. Okay, wow, we've broken in. It isn't even locked, probably left open for when Wright asks for some midnight snack. Okay. I'll make sure the coast is clear, of course, before I pull myself and help Macaulay up. The butler of theirs is nowhere to be seen. He's probably sleeping, attending to his master, or doing some extra late night work before turning in for the night. Meanwhile, Wright won't touch anything to do with menial chores? Okay, no. Not even with a 10-foot pole. It's next to impossible for him to linger here. No servants. No anyone. And just as easy as that, we're in. Gently I close the hatch, and things go well. The same path will be our way out. If our luck doesn't hold, that's not an option now, is it? No. I have people waiting for me. I really don't want to think that what might happen. Sometimes it's best if we simply revel in the little victories, right? There are great blessings when everything else is going against you. And in a place like this, fraught with unknown dangers, it's a feeling that lasts only but a second. Suddenly a sob. Really? Ringing out from some distant part of the house, echoing through its empty halls. Beside me, slumped on the ground, pale and breathing heavily, Macaulay immediately tenses. Oh, she's coming out full force here! Her eyes goes wide and she grips the side of the counter with a force that might be enough to crack it if only she has the strength. As it is, she can barely stand. She hasn't fully recovered. Makes sense for the 3 or more days without proper food or water. And it's this weakness that puts the fear in her eyes. She's aware. If something happens, if there's a need to run, she won't be able to. She's a liability at this point. Yes.
Holmes. I really don't think going any further is a good idea.
Yeah, no kidding.
Look at this place. Everything seems fine. Nothing's off. Maybe we should just go? I really don't like the sound of that.
Nothing seems off. Everything is fine, girl. Like, you fully hear that crying. That's not fine. You don't have to come with me, just into the kitchen, yeah? We're already here. You've done your part. From now on, I'm going on my own.
Yes, I said that, but
she's like, I need to see this through. Can you even stand? She doesn't answer. You'll only be putting yourself in more danger if you follow after me. You have an easy way out of here. Stay here. Once you're okay, I need you to get yourself out of this place.
What? I'm not going to leave you!
But is there really a choice though? But even then, it's like, how the hell is she gonna like find her way back into the city because it's fucking storming outside? I mean, she can stay in the car and wait, but like still, that's like, damn. Well, I'm not taking you with me either, lady. So it's here or out there.
You really are mad, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. We probably all will be if no one fixes this little curse problem we have.
You think you'll find something in here? This is just a mansion, for God's sake!
And yet, you found yourself trapped in a fucking cell in the mansion. So anything is possible. Maybe it's worth a shot. Besides, if what we're hearing right now says anything, I'd say scumbags.
Who?
What? Who? Right. He might be knee-deep in trouble, and he has no idea about it. Macaulay still appears as if she's about to argue, so instead of more words, I unholster my taser and hand it to her. Right. That's good. Good idea. A standard issue for every member of Luxborn Police Force, but it shouldn't take a genius to know how to aim and fire one. Even Isabella may just be able to use it without training. So yet Miss Interior Designer Extraordinaire stares at it as if I've just handed her something particularly nasty. Listen, you want to wait? Fine, I'm leaving this with you. But if I don't come back here within 15 minutes, I want you to backtrack and get the hell out of here.
Are you daft, Holmes? I already told you.
No. In case something goes wrong, I need someone who can tell people what's going on. Who can tell my friends what might have happened here. They're at the crawl. You know the place? Yes. You know the place, right? Yeah, she's been there many times. I trail off, letting the meaning of my words hang in the air. I want to be optimistic about this, really. However, I'm going against something almost everyone can't quite understand. I'm just being realistic with my chances. Macaulay seems to understand this as well after what I've said. Any sign of protest has already died from her tongue, and she simply looks at the taser quietly. After a moment, she just nods. Beyond the walls of this room, the cries continue to grow louder, and I take it as a sign to leave. Without another word, I slip out of the door. Damn, we're going in deep. Oh shit. Okay. I'm gonna go a little bit more. Things are getting like juicy again. Like we have a new journal entry. Let's see what this. We're getting a lot of journal entries for this, but I guess again, things are getting pretty juicy. So upon reaching the kitchen, the crying Ashton heard from outside began anew. Unwilling to risk a civilian, the detective handed Marianne his taser and advised her to leave if he didn't return after 15 minutes, even if he himself was uncertain if he would. Alright, lady, I'm coming after you. Like a siren call, her voice beckons. Finding out who that is seems a good place to start as any. Hello? I keep to the shadows for the most part. Not that there's any need to. The entire place just feels empty, right? And dark. Odd when a house this big should have a large staff. You'd think there'll be one or two roaming about for some late night chores, or someone seeking out whoever's creating this ruckus. There's none, however. Shouldn't they have security posted inside as well? I mean, they really should. Unless their security means the butler, though I doubt Scumbag's that sloppy. He loves his life more than anything. Probably more than his own wife. Nah, you don't know that. And the things he's done, he's bound to make more than an enemy or two. He's also the kind who'll do anything to keep himself safe. Alive. I wonder what he'll say when he finds out there's something not human living with him in his own house. Potential dangers aside, being on my own grants me a greater degree of mobility, which I'm more comfortable with. Sure, I could have enlisted Macaulay's help. Next to the people who owns this, she's probably the one who's most familiar with the mansion. But the cons of bringing her outweigh the pros, right? She's better off somewhere a quick exit's in sight, yeah. With no tag along, I only have to worry about myself, watch my back. Selfish, I know, but necessary, right? In the same manner this whole plan is, no matter how idiotic going into this is. Besides, I don't really need a guide when the house's layout is fairly simple, almost mirrored with only a few modifications in the room. Although I've only been here once, I think I already have a good grasp of this place's ins and outs. As long as you can tell which is east and west, it shouldn't be hard to find my way around. After the dining room, the main foyer should be the next thing that greets me. Where the woman's cries are leading me. Honestly, after what happened outside, I'm not even sure if I should be trusting what I'm hearing. But with the whole house somehow seemingly devoid of any of its inhabitants, I'm inclined to look into this. More than surviving this curse, a huge part of this is my training speaking. I just hope this isn't a crime scene I'm walking into. Well, but nothing's ever that simple, isn't it? Not when you're dealing with the supernatural. Nope, of course not. Because as soon as my feet crosses to the next room, something shifts. What? Oh, I'm in a different dimension. In a flash, nearly without fanfare. It happens in the blink of an eye. I almost miss it. One moment there's red, then in the next. Oh, wow. Okay, playing mind games. I see. All right. I'm standing alone in the foyer. For a brief instant, I pause, glancing wildly around the place, blinking twice as if my movements will spur the vision back. Yet, Nothing, yes. No blood dripping on the walls, none trailing down the stairs or pooled on the floor. No eyes watching my every movement. My every moment. Movement? Moment? I even know. Only those same cries gradually growing in intensity the longer I dally, along with a voice. Charlotte? Was that you? Desperate.
Where are you, Mother?
What? Pleading.
Mother, please. I don't want to be alone.
Charlotte? Is that you? Dearie? Coming from the same direction I've heard the cries from. Upstairs. Upstairs. The place is not entirely empty, then. A better question now is who? Definitely not Scumbag or the butler. I've yet to see hide nor hair of them, and not knowing their whereabouts puts me on the edge. I have to be careful not to make any noise or be seen. Maybe the wife, though one can't really tell if it's her, the way the walls echo her voice. Nevertheless, it pushes me to move, taking almost 2 steps at a time, despite the sickening feeling that something's lurking behind every great shadow, every small corner I pass. As if the house has several eyes watching my every movement. Well, there's a whole bunch of portraits and paintings, so, you know. As if something alive dwells behind the walls itself. God, that's not creepy at all. Oh, God, fuck you. Fuck you, bitch. Why did you have to do that? That's 2 times. It's like, it's not even the ghost lady that actually scares me half the time. It's just these, like, little big noises and shit like that. Oh my god. I try to shake it off, but the uneasy sensation has already made home at the pit of my stomach. Dread, and it only grows deeper the closer I get to her. The relative emptiness of the place doesn't help either. Neither does the harsh wind battering the windows, nor the sheets of rain pelting down the roof. Wow, so many journal entries. We're really getting to the thick of things. Alright, so, upon reaching the kitchen, the crying Ashton heard from outside began anew. On alert, he continued deeper into the mansion, even if he was uncertain if he would get out of the place alive. Alright, lady, I'm coming for you. For a fleeting second, I find myself wishing for a scumbag to simply show up. Yes, that would be nice. I don't get too far down into that train of thought. Abruptly, the cries stop, replacing it with,
Mother, please. She's here. She's here, Mother. She's going to take me.
I think she already did.
She won't leave, Mother.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to go with her. Tell her to go away.
Well, that's too bad. Maybe you shouldn't have burned her at the stake.
Mother! Mother, she's here! Help!
Okay. I can't help you now, girl. You're already dead. That can't be good. Adrenaline overcomes me in a rush. In no 2 heartbeats, my feet's already moving before any sense can catch up or doubt creeps up to me. My hands ready at the holster as I hastily set off for the far side of the hall. One alarmed footstep after another, while struggling to keep that sense of panic at bay. A door lies ajar at the end, and coming from the floor above.
She's going to hurt me! Help me!
Ashton, why are you doing this? I do not hesitate. Moving in, despite the lack of light, the steep stairs, or the thick layer of dust kicking up with my every step. It's the attic. God, I pause only a moment upon reaching the top. Then, without wasting a second, I push the door open. She sits in the middle of the room, shoulders hunched, shaking. Her hands cover her face as she weeps, oblivious to my presence. It's as if she has heard neither my footsteps nor the soft creaking of the door, continuing undisturbed, like I'm standing in a time far removed from her, which may as well be true. She doesn't even flinch when I call out to her. Hey, are you alright? Hey girl, I'm here to help as long as you don't fucking go off on me.
Mother, I've done it, Mother. Take me with you, please.
Okay.
I can still hear her. She's here.
Uh-huh.
Help me! Help me, please!
Charlotte? Charlotte, dear? Belatedly, I notice the blood on her hands. If it's the same one drenching the whole attic, I'd rather not know. How the whole room has ended up like this is the least of my problems at the moment. Even the single human body doesn't have this much blood. Oh yeah, you're right. Jesus! I didn't even notice that. So, bodies? Yeah. The thought sends an unpleasant twinge in my stomach. Does Wright even know about this? He's bad news, alright, but this this tops it. Yeah, this is beneath him. He'll definitely balk at first sight of it. Anyone will. Yet the woman lingers here, unmoved by the sight, letting her sobs fill the room. It's a ghost. It's a ghost, girl. You're looking at a ghost, and you should really unholster that gun. Like, just keep it out, repeating the words over and over again like a prayer of salvation. To whom? The mess of parchment she has left on the floor? Just what the hell is happening? Hey, lady, are you... The rest of that question never makes it out. I don't even see it coming. What? Should have been more aware and on guard, really. See, I told you, you should have unholstered that gun. Now you're dead. Ouch. But there's little I can do when a well-placed blow to the back of my knees makes me stumble. Ow. The fuck? Why am I... Wow, the momentum alone sends me reeling forward. What the fuck? That hurt. That's rude. That's so rude. Who hit me on my knee? Anyways, there we go. So the sobs led Ashton to the mansion's attic. In the middle of the room, he found a woman crouched on the floor, crying. Cautiously, he approached her, but as he was about to reach out for her, someone grabs him from behind. So I know Charlotte killed the servant girl who is now the ghost lady, but why though? What? Or maybe she killed her, and then afterwards she's just being haunted by her, and then I don't even know where that blood comes from. Maybe she went around murdering everybody else too. I don't even know. I still have no idea the origin of this curse, other than the fact that it's a servant lady that Charlotte supposedly killed because she thought she was a witch. Okay. So it barely even registers in my head that the woman's gone and the room's as normal as it can be. Not above the pain suddenly shooting up my side when I hit the floor. I don't even get the chance to get my bearings back when a hard enough blow to the stomach causes me to buckle down and land heavily on my knees. Who is beating the shit out of me right now? What the hell? Gasping, I fumble wildly for my gun. Although before I am able to turn, level it, and shoot, a hand grabs my wrist and twists it. Hard. A gasp. A grunt. A cry of pain slips past my mouth. The gun falls to the floor with a thunk. As soon as it lands, a foot kicks it out of reach and it slides uselessly under the bed. Well, there it goes. Great. Agony suddenly explodes in my chin, jerking loose a sharp cry of pain, and stars fill the edges of my vision. A brief moment of regret hits me for leaving my taser with Macaulay when a piece of cloth closes around my mouth. Oh, closes around my neck. Without warning, my attacker pulls tight. Okay, now I'm getting choked out. I'm left gasping, choking, and clawing for air, blindly reaching behind me as I still try to fight him off and loosen the pressure on my neck. Except any sort of movement only causes him to pull it taut.
My, so many rats scurrying about in this mansion
Oh
lately.
my god, it's fucking... What's his face? Jesus, oh my god, I forgot his name, but homie, stop. I'm not a burglar. Writes Butler. Yes, shit.
Tell me, what did you do with the madam?
I didn't do shit, son. I have no idea what he's talking about. Did something happen to Hannah, right? Let go, you asshole. Ugh.
Now, Dummkopf, you're in no position to be rude.
Yes, Johans. His name is Johans. Damn, Johans, you're such a badass. But I'm on your side, bro.
Last time I checked, I'm not the one breaking into other people's homes.
Damn, he caught me off. He caught me good.
Now answer my question. What did you do with the madam?
But I thought the last time Hannah had an episode was with the ghost, and she just was super traumatized by it. The pain rings and resonates through my already sore body. Still, I managed to ride it out and spit a mutinous, "Fuck you, girl. That ain't helping your situation."
Keep that dirty mouth babbling, and you're getting a knife in the kidney.
Damn, John. I thought you were a doctor. I thought you were a doctor before this.
I assure you, it will be more painful than this.
Oh my god. He really doesn't need to threaten me by now, right? I'm not doing anything. I'm not looking to steal. It's all too much to bear at this point. My lungs feel like they're burning with the lack of air. Dark spots begin to fill the edges of my vision. Ever so slowly, the world around me dims. Oh, girl. My consciousness rapidly slips away from me. And without meaning to...
Get away from him!
What? Is that Macaulay? Wait, it's Isabella. That sounds like Isabella. Hearing that voice, it's as if I've been doused with a bucket full of ice-cold water. Familiar, too familiar. And more importantly, it shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be hearing it here. She shouldn't be here. Yes. Immediately, my eyes snap open. Oh, shit. Isabella. Listen, and right there, right on the attic's doorway, stands Isabella of all people, and she has the taser, which she got from Marianne, I'm sure. A rolling pin on one hand, and a standard issue police taser on the other. My taser. She must have borrowed it from Macaulay. Where else could she have gotten one? I doubt she has ever even used. Yeah, I doubt she has ever used one even. Hell, the way she holds it right now, this guy can easily disarm her in one hit. But there's something in her eyes. Although there's a look of fear in them and her hand shakes, she keeps the weapon trained and pointed at Scumbag's lackey. Untrained or not, she does not plan to leave here without putting up a fight, it seems. Admirably, really, but it's just not something we need right now. Right. Even though I am kind of being choked out to death, but like still, I need her to be away from here. I need her safe. But the chances of that happening grow slim with every laughter that slips from him.
Oh, this is just getting better and better.
Johannes, why are you doing this? I thought you were such a mild-mannered person.
The Bratwurst won't be pleased with the number of bodies we have to dispose of today, you know.
What? He's been killing people?
Tell me, how many of you are there? So I can prepare the proper number of bags.
What the hell is going on here? Damn it! What the fuck is going on? Why is she here in the first place? Did she follow after me? Who else came with her? Zach? Rebecca? Oh my god. Are they all here? Oh my god. Panic surges within me. She knows how bad the situation is, but does she really have to run in here and expose herself like that? Does she even know how to use a taser? For fuck's sake, more than worrying for my life, it's her I'm concerned about. Getting strangled, dying by choking isn't part of the plan, but her following me here isn't either. This is why I prefer to do things alone. This is why I'd rather be the only one to take the consequences. I don't even want to think what this bastard might do to her after he's done with me. Though my voice comes off nearly a croak, I try to tell her as much. She has to leave. Stay far away from here and these people. Don't. Damn it, Isabella. Get out of here. Oh, ugh. Dude, I'm trying to talk. Another battered pain erupts in my side, cutting off my words. A cry of agony bursts from my mouth. I can taste blood in my tongue as I heave, attempting to get in as much air despite the towel still coiled around my neck.
Ash?
What?
You're going to lose air quickly that way, Dummkopf. Better keep it shut.
What the hell? Get out. Out, Belle. Just get out.
Don't be stupid! I'm not leaving you here!
Yeah, but you're not helping. He laughs, too cruel, too unforgiving. Johannes, I'm so shocked. Like, Johannes is such a chill guy. What the hell? The way each note beats against my ear, in spite of the warmth in them, sends chills down my spine. Yeah, chills down my spine. This is the man whose hands have already been stained with blood before. Shit. And not in the surgeon kind of way. He won't hesitate.
I'd follow his advice if I were you, little girl. What could you possibly do with a toy?
That's not a toy, it's a taser.
Just hand it over and be on your way. It'll probably be too difficult for a little girl like you to use.
Oh my god. There's a moment of silence. Fuck, I can barely keep my eyes open. But in the next second, though I still don't exactly understand what's happening, Isabella shouts. Not a cry of pain. What? Late bloomer. What's that? Not a yell of panic. But one that's resolute. Oh, it's like a battle war cry. Rah! Firm. Perhaps in a tone that leagues fiercer than any I've heard from her before.
Try me.
Yeah.
Ashton, duck!
Okay. I do. More out of instinct and desire to survive, closing my eyes before my mind can fully process what's going on. Oosh! It all happens in a blur. The telltale sound of a taser being discharged resounds through the room. The air crackles. Something whizzes by, almost too close to my ear, followed by the thud of something blunt connecting solidly with another object. The next thing I know, the towel strangling me has started to loosen. I collapse on the floor, dazed and gasping for air. From my peripheral, through the haze of blood rushing and sound slowly filtering back, the butler buckles. He spasms once. Then, without much fuss, falls face first beside me, knocked unconscious by 50,000 volts of electricity and a fucking rolling pin. That's overkill. But damn, it got the job done. Damn, Isabella. You go, girl. Oh my god, that is just wild! Jesus! Ashton attempted to fight back, but his attacker quickly disarmed him, looping a towel around his neck and strangling him. But just when he was about to lose consciousness, a familiar voice rings in the room, and... Jesus Christ! He'll be out for a while. I have no idea whether I should laugh or cry at that. Somewhere in front of me, my oxygen-deprived brain vaguely registers Isabella's form. She slumps on the floor, also breathing heavily. Right next to her trembling hands, both the taser and the rolling pin lie useless and forgotten, while the mood in the room eases. A long, gradual process of the tension lifting. For countless seconds, we remain quiet, with only our short gasps and sighs to fill the silence, allowing the adrenaline ebb away and both our breathing to slow. Not a true repose by any means, but simply a brief respite. There's still the curse. We're still inside the mansion, in imminent danger. We still have no idea how to fix this. Well, we all thought it was the ghost that was gonna attack us, kill us. Who would have thought it was gonna be Johans too? Jesus Christ, this man! Like, who the fuck is he? Anyways, let me see what I have for time. I feel like I'm going overboard with this just because like everything just got so wild. Hold on. Okay, I'm definitely leaving it here, you guys. Holy shit. What a fucking wild ride this already is and was, and we have yet to even find anything that would help us with this answering the curse. Like, we only just saw Ashton's brief flashback of like Charlotte crying over how she's being haunted by her, which I assume again it's the same ghost lady, the servant girl that she has set afire, as she had burned at the stake and stuff, but we really don't know exactly what happened to her afterwards. Maybe, oh wait, no, we do, because the story goes is that Charlotte committed suicide like soon afterwards that her fiance was dead. You know, I don't even know, before or after her fiance was murdered or something like that. But either way, Charlotte's death was a suicide, and that, I guess, we found out the cause of it, but now we just don't know why it went down that way, in terms of why Charlotte chose to burn the girl that she saved from the slave trade at the stake. Maybe it might have something to do with her fiance, maybe, but we have yet to find out. We have yet to find good, solid evidence, and we already get into this mess, nearly dying because of Johans and his like freaking black ops move. Jesus. Anyways, he's just one hell of a butler, you could say. Alright guys, I'll leave it here and I'll see you next time for more Spoopy Times in the Letter. This is getting so exciting right now, so until then, you guys, bye!
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock